Maybe okay. I'm going to. You mentioned Farrell. We'll come back to Farrell in just a moment. Move on, Geoff. Geoff Nugent, my guest on the show this afternoon. By the way, Vera's been on from Kirby. Vera Owens, and your CD is brilliant.
Thank you, Vera. I'm glad that one worked.
Only cost you 50p. Let's get it in again. We're actually going to listen to a couple of your songs when we finish going through your selection as well, Geoff, if that's okay.
Yeah.
And talk about what you're up to these days, of course. I know you're still a busy boy.
I try to be.
Yeah.
As I say, we're working more for charity now, especially the Imagine Appeal and the Annie Kell Brain Tumour Trust. On behalf of Annie Kell, it was Brian Jones's goddaughter who died when she was 12 with a brain tumour.
Okay.
So we support that. And also the kidney at Arrow Park, but it's a separate trust. We're putting money into that through what happened to
He does some great fundraising, I know. We will come back to that in just a moment or two. Let's go to the lines, though. Your Uncle Len's on, apparently, from Cressida Park. Hello there.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. I passed the phone over.
Hi, Geoff.
Hiya, Len. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, there's something puzzling me, Geoff.
What's that?
You like Uncle Wilf. He always maintained that he learned you to play the guitar. That's true or false?
He helped. He didn't teach me. Our Bobby showed me the first chords. Mind you, Uncle Wilf gave our Bobby the first chords to when he started to play. So I suppose indirectly, Uncle Wilf did. He did. He assisted.
And we'll be in touch.
We'll be in touch.
Okay, Len.
All right, Len. Thanks for the call, mate. There you go. It's family and friends this afternoon with the sound of it. Right. So it's interesting, isn't it, when you get people who come on and ask you about things that I've been doing with you today, actually, that happened, 40, 50 years ago. And,
yes. Well, actually, 60. Oh, 60 something.
Really? Well, yeah.
Well, because, of course, I did my first workers' playtime when I was 9.
Really?
10. 9 or 10. Yeah.
Blimey. I thought you told me you're only 45 when you came in today.
Shh.
You didn't tell me a fib, Geoff Nugent. Shame on you. Yes, with Merseybeat legend Geoff Nugent. And, he's here till where he wants to stay, really. But just chewing the fat, really, and played a few songs. Got through 5 of your 6 choices. Andy Williams to Chicago, to me, seems a bit of a step.
Yes. Well, working at the Grafton, we had to learn all the pop tunes of the day, such as the Archie Sugar, which was... But I mean...
You weren't keen on it, then, Geoff?
Not really, no. But mind you, because half the time, a lot of the time, they were out of key.
Mm-hmm.
And because they were full band arrangements, you couldn't expect someone to sit down and transpose them, So we had to sort of struggle, But other than that, I thoroughly enjoyed my time at the Grafton. It was what a learning curve that was. You go in thinking you know it all. You don't. I can say that from experience. 25 or 6 to 4 was again, from CTA Chicago. Then it was a sound. It was a sound that I loved. Big brass.
Lots of brass,
bands, big sound. And of course, it was in the charts. Same as Spinning Wheel. We did that. We did all them. BST. But this one stuck out. What a great number,
And later on, when it gets into the mid-70s, when they became just Chicago, Peter Cetera did a lot of the ballads, didn't he? And became very popular.
It's still a great band, but not the band I liked.
Yeah.
Well, I liked them, but not the band that was...
My guest today in the studio was just consuming his... How many mince pies have you had since Christmas, Geoff?
Oh, this has got to be my second dozen.
Going down well. And he's saying with us, as I say, as long as he wants to, really. We're going to have a little chat in a moment about what he's doing these days. And a lot of charity work going on, a lot of money being raised for charities. And we'll play a couple of songs from his own album as well. However, before then, I had an email in, Geoff, from Dave D of Wallasey. Not Dave D.
Oh, no,
not him.
He's not Dozy Beacon McKinnon.
No, he's not with us anymore, sadly, is he, Dave D? He passed away a couple of years ago.
Great singer.
Yeah.
Great.
Anyway, this Dave D wants to know, how did you come to play in the Wallasey-based band, Bob Evans 5 Shillings? Because you were living in Kirby, weren't you? You were the only guy.
No, I lived in Speak at the time.
Oh, Speak. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Okay, but over this side anyway.
Yeah.
It was miles away, and of course, those days, transport wasn't as easy as it is now, was it?
No. Well, it was as I said before. It was all through the Hollyoak. I went to Hollyoak Ballroom, and again, something I don't want to repeat myself, but this band was on. It was the first band I'd seen, because most bands that I'd seen all sat down and things like that. This was the first band I'd seen that actually stood up. and sang the songs as they were. Mike Millward, the late Mike Millward, was with us. Was with them at the time. There was Bob Evans on lead vocal, his brother Billy on drums. We had no bass player. Ike, I forgot the second name now. Ike on lead guitar, great guitarist as well, and Mike Millward on vocals. And then I came along on vocals and a little bit known to Bob on guitar as well after that.
But in those early days, though, Geoff, were most of the gig, with the rest of the band being mainly based on the Wirral, were most of the gigs over that side?
Yes, they were. But again, Bob was a cobbler, and the old sense of the word. He was a shoe repairer.
Right, okay.
And he was a cobbler, and he was a great, lovely guy, absolutely total gentleman. And he lived. He worked in Garston, St Mary's Road, in Coombs's shoe repair shop. And they were actually called cobblers in those days.
Yeah.
And he actually worked, and that was how Bob lived. Although he was a Wallacey boy, he was based in Garston because he lived in the flat over the shop. Then he got moved back to Wallacey, to Coombs's in Wallacey. He became very ill, actually, and that's what made him leave the band. But that was after the Undertakers. But again, that's another story. Yeah. But that's how the association with Bob Evans and the Five Shillings became about.
So what about transport in those days, Geoff? Because, I mean, not everybody had a car, did they?
No,
and,
certainly not.
So public transport wasn't, perhaps as available as it is now.
If the gig was local enough, it was Shank's Pony, otherwise it was the bus.
Yeah, simple as that.
That was it, under the stairs.
You were glad you weren't a drummer, I suppose, weren't you?
Yes, I was. Mind you, kits were not like they are.
Well, no, that's true enough, I guess.
But, in fact, I think the first poshest kit I ever saw was Harry Priswick out of the Remo 4. He had an original Ajax kit.
Lovely fella, Harry. Yeah.
Lovely guy. Lovely man. He's had the all clear as well.
Oh, he's not been well. I'm very pleased to hear that.
Really made up.
He's tuned in this afternoon, which he more than likely is, Harry. Good wishes to you, mate. Another call's come in, Geoff. Let's see. Josephine Green sends her best wishes, loves your music, and wants to know, have you ever recorded White a Shade of Pale?
No, but it is it's in abeyance at the moment.
So it could happen.
It could happen in quite the near future as well.
Okay, all right, we'll watch the space for that one, Josephine. And Kevin's on. Kevin Brand wants to know...
Oh, no, Kevin.
Yeah, okay. Well, he wants to know if you remember him from when they were both partners in Hygiena.
Yes, I do. I do remember Kevin very, very well.
Okay, what did you do there?
Believe it or not, I was a packer. Basically a labourer. Okay. In Hygiene, yeah. Again, in between jobs.
Nice. You remember just looking.
Yeah, I say class. They were in between jobs.
Yeah. Okay, let's move things forward then, Geoff. Up to the present day. Now, I said you've been heavily involved in a lot of charity work, and you mentioned a few before from the causes that you raise money for. Well, and amazing amount of money that actually you have raised over the years.
Yes. Well, first started with Mersey Cats. I'm still one of the founder members of Mersey Cats, and I would never turn me back on Mersey Cats. It's just that other things I've overtook, and I'm tried to juggle, but it does become difficult. Started off with Mersey Cats in 1989, and that started off at the Montrose. Well, it started off at a little bar in Penny Lane.
Somewhere.
In Penny Lane, and it was one of the lads come together and said, look, it was Johnny Banks had not long died, and we all got together to just have a get together, So we did this show for Johnny Banks at the Montrose, and it raised that much money. We didn't know what to do with it, so we decided to give it to the children. Again, a long story, cut short, but basically we were supporting children. Our first charity adventure was in conjunction with Kind.
Oh yeah, Stephen Yip, yeah, good friend of mine.
Yeah. Then we went to we did a few things, All the Hay. Then we did, I think our biggest fundraiser really at that particular time, was we raised £25,000 for All the Hay for a room, a parents' room. And then we got involved with the Variety Club of Great Britain, and we did some shows with them in conjunction with them. And then there was a splinter. Dave Jamo, without going into politics, started off an offshoot called Mersey Rats, which actually should have been the original name for Mersey Cats. Started off Mersey Rats, and that started off at the Cavern, basically. on a Sunday night, and then when the cavern changed, and once it had their own regime, that we moved to Latham.
In Seaforth.
In Seaforth.
Which is where you still are.
We still are now.
Yeah, and Stan Johnson, who plays with the resident band, The Biz, at the Latham.
Yes.
I actually had him as a guest on the programme a few weeks ago now.
Mind of information.
Isn't he just? And you know, he actually put me onto the fact that you were there regularly as well. And I thought, well, got a day to get Geoff in.
Well, that's taking most of my time up now. You know, a lot of my time up now on a Thursday night, and we support the Imagine appeal on that one. That's the money we've raised in just at the tail end of the cavern, and from the couple of years we've been at the Latham. And what a great venue. And I'm going to blow this one now, because I think it's got to be one of the premier venues in Liverpool, and why it's not on the tourist trap, I'll never know.
Yeah, well, I know that has been brought up before.
Why it's not? Because it's iconic. It's an absolutely amazing. And Brian and Ronnie and all the staff at the Latham are so obliging, and nothing appears to be too much trouble to them.
Well, there you go. There's a good enough plug for it, I reckon. So you're looking for a good night out. Thursday night,
every Thursday night, and it's only £1 at
the Latham. Absolute great value. And one of the bands, of course, that did appear there many times, Farron's Flamingos. And we had a call there a little earlier from. Just let me scroll the screen down. And see who it was. It's Artie from Runcorn. Could we just give a special mention to Farron, because he's got his 70th birthday?
Yes, Artie. Yeah, we do a special mention for Farron. He's a lovely guy. It's a shame he's not been in so good a health of late. We wish him all the very best from the bottom of our hearts, and hope everything goes all right for him.
We do.
And happy birthday, sunshine.
Absolutely right. All right, listen, I'm going to ask you, before I let you go, and ask you about a big gig that's coming up for you in Germany very shortly. But let's just take a track from your own album first. Okay, now this is the countryside of Geoff Nugent, isn't it, really?
Yeah, it's a Freddie Fender track, which I love Freddie Fender. I think he's brilliant. And this is a track that I just like doing. Just hope I do it justice.
Called?
Wasted Days and Wasted Nights. Wasted days and wasted nights I have left for you behind, for you don't belong to me. Your heart belongs to someone else. Why should I keep on loving you when I know that you're not true? And why should I call your name when you're to blame for making me blue? Don't you remember the day?
Countryside, Wasted Days, Wasted Nights, by my guest this afternoon on BBC Radio Merseyside, Geoff Nugent. It's like that. You were telling me you recorded that in Warrington.
Warrington, yes. There's a friend of mine's garage studio. He's converted his garage into a studio.
Big night coming up for a big event coming up for you, Geoff. The 50th anniversary of the Star Club. Tell me about this. It's in April this year.
It's Horst Fasher. He come on to us and asked us would we do it, and it was Dave Jameson actually asked us would we do it to support Horst, and I said certainly, not a problem. Because without Horst Fasher, and that goes for any of the bands that worked the Star Club in the 60s, but without Horst Fasher, none of us would have got over there. And that is, he is Mr. Star Club. As far as I'm concerned, he is Mr. Star Club. Him and Manfred Weisley, I always remember going to Manfred Weisley and I wanted a sub on my wages. And Manfred Weisley said, who owned the Star Club, he said, what do you want it for? I said, I want to buy a camera. So he said, you don't want to buy a camera, I give you a camera. And he gave me one.
Just like that?
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, this event that you've actually got on 13th of April, just looking at the bill, the Quarrymen are on as well.
Yes.
The original Quarrymen, the Rockhouse Brothers, Undertakers, the Mojos, the Star Club All-Star Band, Ian Zodiacs as well. Can it be a great bill?
It would be a great bill, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, it won't be. It's the Zodiacs because Ian, of course, unfortunately passed away a few years ago.
Yeah, it is Bill, does he?
Another nice guy, really smashing fella.
Yeah. And there is still that, I mean, for people who remember it, there's still that real connection between Hamburg and
yes.
Liverpool.
Yeah,
it really is.
Well, if my son hadn't have had a holding horse, I'd have probably stayed out in Germany.
Yeah. That keen. All right, Geoff, it's been lovely. Just a couple of calls just to finish us off. Artie, I think, who was on before about Farron.
Yeah.
Just been back on the phone again. He says, do you recall the kindness of the Latham when they put in the ramp so that people in wheelchairs could get in?
Yes, that's true. This is how obliging the owners and
that was presumably before the legislation came in, I think it was it?
Yeah, well, they put it in. As soon as they found out that people were coming in with wheelchairs, that was it. The ramp was put in, no problem.
Lovely. And just to finish with, I like this one. Dot Lancashire asks...
That's me Auntie Dot.
Oh, right, OK. Do you remember calling her Tricky Knickers? And if you do, tell me why, because I'm curious.
Because, tell you what, she's a dancing queen, our Dot. I've only got an auntie and an uncle left on my mum's side now. One was my Uncle Leonard's before. And that was out of a family, if I can remember, if I'm right, either wrong, 11 or 12.
Right.
And sadly, them two passed away. Of course, the spouses as well.
Sure.
The Auntie Miriam, Uncle Len, another Uncle Len. They're still there, but my actual mum's family, there's only two left.
Nice to know that you did today.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure. We're going to finish off with another track from your album, The Countryside. I mean, this is Shame, which is track number 1.
Yeah.
So keep doing what you do. You're obviously still having a ball, enjoying yourself.
Oh, yeah. Well, actually, I do this particular one with the band because it's got such a Fats Domino's style feel to it. And it goes, they love it. People, it's one of those songs you hear it and you say, oh, I'm not so sure. And then after a few listens, it grabs you.
It goes on you.
Yeah.
Geoff, it's been a pleasure.
It's been an absolute pleasure to be here. Thank you, Roger.
Well, my pleasure. As Geoff Nugent, of course, been my special guest.
But just before I go, can I know it's a bit late, but can I wish everybody a very, very happy and a prosperous new year, because I think we need one. And remember, vote for Merseyside. It's still the best station in the world.
Can't top that one. Geoff, thanks a lot, mate.
Shame, 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 shame. You're standing up that old place. I know you'll steal my heart again. No way that I can win. Shame, 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 shame.
Nugent and shame. Paul Shingler was on, by the way, as well, asking if he was remembered, because he also was a hygienist back in the day, and the answer is Geoff. I said yes, like the man from Del Monte. He said yes. Time just to squeeze one more Undertaker's track in. I think this will do the trick.
A mashed potato, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I dig it. Hey, baby. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Oh, yeah. A mashed potato, yeah.
The Undertaker's